Fans of the Horus Heresy, thank you very much for joining me again for another unit overview video. Today, in response to my earlier video asking what would you be interested to see, well, we had a couple of requests for the Solar Auxilia from Austin, Essex and Zipokovic. Hope I pronounced that right. So yes, here we go. Here is an overview of my Solar Auxilia force for the Heresy. So, give you a quick overview, just a quick overview about what the Solar Auxilia are. So the Solar Auxilia are an elite human fighting force in the Horus Heresy age. They are spaceborne, so they're equipped to fight both in space and on planetary surfaces. They're sort of linked to the Saturnine merchant yards from the solar system, and that's where the style of fighting grew from. So these guys are, they're like pumped up Imperial Guard, I think is probably the best way to put it. That's certainly how Alan Bly, the writer of the Horus Heresy series, put it to me when I was discussing these with him. And the reason for that is of course, well, everything's quite pumped up in the Horus Heresy age. So to be able to stand toe to toe with the Space Marine legions, you need something pretty formidable. So here is my force, which I've finally finished assembling. Quick overview: there is a tactical command section, 2 infantry tercios. An infantry tercio is a troop choice which is made up of up to 3 separate squads, or sections as they're called. There is an elite choice in the form of the Medicae character Avus Jovan, and in addition there is a heavy support choice in the form of a Malka tank. And of course that's one of the unique features of the Solar Auxilia army, is that they can take Malka tanks, normally a Lord of War choice, in their super heavy slots. So I'm going to give you a quick overview, and then this video is sort of like the lead in to a series of detailed unit reviews where I'll look at these guys, the models, the builds, by kit type, and then also talk about the rules, in-game performance and the tactics. Right, so let's head on down. So firstly, we have the tactical command section. This is comprised of the Legate Commander, the Strategios, the Communications Operator, I just forget his name now, and the Vexillarius, who carries the company standard. In addition, there are 2 veterans armed with special weapons. This trooper is armed with a melter gun, and this trooper is armed with a grenade launcher. Accompanying them is the rogue surgeon character Avus Jovan. There is Avus Jovan, and here is his special medical equipment, the auto gurney. And we can see aboard the auto gurney there is a severely wounded veteran trooper there who has just recently undergone an amputation. So moving on to the Infantry Tercios. So the first tercio is comprised of 3 las rifle sections, each with an attached Medicae. So we'll have a quick look here. Each trooper is identically armed with a las rifle. There is a Vox operator, a section commander. I've converted power fists or power gloves onto mine, a Vexilla bearer, and the remainder of the troops are all armed with las rifles. I've attached their close combat accessories as bayonets to all of my las rifles to give them a bit of a wall of steel type look. And here is their attached Medicae character. Then the second section. All the troops have, there are 20 different troops in each pack. Obviously, what I've done to try to create some variety is I've alternated whether or not the characters and the Vox operators have got helmets open or closed. For those of you who know the 2000 AD comic and remember Rogue Trooper, these guys bear more than a passing resemblance to the Nauts, and I do like how they look. And that here we have the second section's Medicae, and then finally the third section. Again, 20 troops armed with las rifles, and a third Medicae. Those three sections are actually a single troops choice, so you get a lot of troops for a single slot in your force. Indeed, this army is actually only 2 troops choices, 1 heavy support choice, 1 HQ, and 1 elite. So it's actually, although it's around a 2,000 point force, it hardly fills up any slots in the force organisation chart. Okay, now moving on to the second tertio. The second tertio is comprised exclusively of Veletaris stormtroopers, or storm section Veletaris storm troops. These guys are equipped with heavier armour, which is called reinforced void armour, and as you can see, they're all armed with Volkite chargers. So these are very heavily armed as well. And each section has a Dracosan armoured transport as a dedicated transport. The Dracosans have all been armed with demolisher cannons and pintle-mounted multi-lasers. You can see the crew there, and there's a demolisher cannon. And the purpose of these is to basically work something like a hybrid between a Vindicator and an armoured fighting vehicle. So the idea of these guys is to get in close, seize objectives, and destroy the enemy quickly. And there's the second section of the second tertio, and the third section. All of these are the same miniatures. Again, a little bit of variation how you assemble them, but essentially the same. And there's the third Dracosan, again with a pintle-mounted multi-laser and a demolisher cannon. And finally, we have the heavy support choice, which is a Malka heavy tank. This Malka has been armed with a battle cannon in the Citadel, a hull-mounted demolisher cannon, sponsor-mounted auto cannons, and a pintle-mounted multi-laser to round out the weapon load. And the Malka tank in the Solar Auxilia force has a whole host of really potent upgrades that allow you to customize how the tank works. So there you go. That is a quick overview video of my Solar Auxilia army for the Horus Heresy. So I'll be making a series of videos, as I say, looking at the individual parts of this army, talk about the models and the rules. I hope you've enjoyed watching that. If you have any questions or queries, please leave them in the comments section. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye, and I'll see you later.